There are tools and techniques for raising your vibrational frequency. The first and foremost thing is to radiate love. But when your ego's gotten hold of you, which is usually the case when you're feeling at lower vibrational frequency and you're not all that happy, or you're angry, or you're sad, or if you're anything but joyful, you're at lower vibrational frequency. And that's always because your ego, who is the aspect of you whose job it is to resist the flow of love, is dominating. So what you want to do is overcome your ego. But the challenge there is, if you resist ego and fight ego, you're just empowering ego, because that's what ego does, is fight and resist, and that's the part of you would be using to resist and fight your ego, just strengthening it. So the key is to find ways to rise above your ego that it doesn't resist. And so actually I have a whole list of those tools on my website, juliarogershamrick.com, that you can go read about. But the system that I was provided in a time of my own need, I've named the step-by-step frequency raising system, because it's a methodical system that absolutely works. If you follow the steps, there is, I don't really know how to give you a guarantee that you could present me with a claim against, but I can pretty much guarantee you that if you absolutely follow these steps, you will raise your frequency, and it works every time. And there are many people other than me who have used this who will say that too. But the first thing you've got to do, and this sounds so simple, but when you're in the pits, you'll notice that not only are your emotions lower, or your feelings down and not very pleasant, you're not as wise, you're not as smart, you're not as clear. So you have to recognize that you're there first. That's the first step, is just to acknowledge that you're not where you want to be. And just, that's observing it. And then the next thing is to just acknowledge your intention. Just make an intention. Look, I don't like where I am, and I'm not a victim. I can make a change. I intend to make a change in my state, my vibrational state. So then, that's the second step. And the third step is, this is both the fun part and the scary part, is to allow your ego to express whatever it needs and wants to. Because the thing is, when you hold back, you've had that feeling before of needing to cry, really needing to cry and feeling really horrible. Well, that's you resisting your feelings and stuffing that energy back. Your ego is the one that's sad, angry, anything other than joyful. That's your ego's influence. So whatever's going on with you, if you resist allowing the expression of that energy, you're just depressing your vibrational frequency. Now, some people say, what if I allow myself to cry and I can never stop? You'll be amazed that won't happen. Because when you deliberately cry on purpose, or deliberately punch pillows and yell and, go all Linda Blair or whatever, it so discharges the energy that what feels like an endless amount turns out to be, not nearly as much as you might perceive it to be. So you're in charge of it. The difference is not that energy is going to take you over. It's that you're being in charge and you are allowing that energy. So you do whatever it takes to discharge it. It could be putting on sad music and crying. It could be, like I said, punching pillows, yelling, telling someone off, and not to their face. This is not about anyone else. This is about your own energy. If you need to tell somebody else off, say it out loud, pretend like they're in the room, yell it, scream it, write it in a letter that you never send. Do whatever you need to do to get that out. And then as soon as you have discharged that energy through expressing it, through emotional expressiveness, you'll automatically already feel better. But then what you need to do is choose some of the tools and techniques that I have put on the website to lift your frequency, like music, like conscious breathing. Aromatherapy is incredible. Like I said, there's a whole list. and work that whatever seems appealing to you, go with that thing. And after you've immersed yourself in that thing, find the next thing that seems appealing. And pretty soon you're going to feel so much better. You'll be like a different person in a different state altogether. And when you feel that you've changed that state and that you've risen in vibrational frequency, the best way that I know of to increase it and to continue raising your frequency is just to go, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, say it 100 times. And the more you say thank you and feel that gratitude, the higher you go. It's like when it's just like a helium balloon that you've been holding the string on. And once you let go of that energy and begin to feel gratitude for rising up again, it's just like your frequency and your emotions rise up to joy.